There's something brewing in Foxborough, and it's not just the usual off-season optimism. The New England Patriots are starting to look like a team ready to flip the script heading into the 2025 season. And after day one of the voluntary offseason, our program, we're already seeing the early signs of a major transformation taking place across the roster. If things stay on track, it's not unrealistic to expect that nearly half of the Patriots' starting lineup will consist of new faces when the season officially kicks off. 11 of 22 positions might belong to newcomers, and that's a massive shift for a team looking to climb back into playoff relevance in the AFC East. All eyes were, of course, on the offensive line. It's the backbone of any functional unit, and it's the group that will have the biggest job in front of them, protecting rookie quarterback Drake May. And let's not sugarcoat it, May had a rocky day to start. There were 4 interceptions during team drills, with 2 of them coming off deflections and broken communication. But before the alarm bells start ringing, let's be clear, this is normal. We're talking about a young quarterback stepping into a brand new system, working with teammates he barely knows, facing a defense that already looks like it's in mid-season form. This isn't a red flag. It's a reality check, and honestly, it could be the best thing for him. May's early struggles are a reminder of just how elite the Patriots' defensive unit could be. Having to go up against guys like Christian, Gonzalez in practice every day is going to sharpen him faster than any film session or quarterback coach ever could. Iron sharpens iron. And while mistakes are part of the process, the long-term benefit here is that May will be forced to adapt, adjust, and grow in real time. You'd rather him make these errors now, in a controlled setting, than when the lights are brightest. Up front, it's already becoming clear who's going to hold down the fort. Will Campbell is looking like the real deal at left tackle. No surprises there. He's anchoring that blind side with the kind of poise and confidence you want from someone tasked with protecting your most valuable asset. Next to him, Cole Strange has the early edge at left guard, while James Bradbury is handling things at center. Michael Onwenu, as expected, has slid inside to right guard, and Morgan Moses is getting comfortable on the edge at right tackle. That combination, if it gels, gives New England a real shot at stabilizing what was a shaky offensive front last year. Now let's talk receivers. With Stephon Diggs not yet fully cleared and Jalen Polk limited in practice, the rotation took on a bit of a surprising look. Pop Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, and Keyshawn Bout were the main targets on the field. Not exactly a star-studded trio, but each of them brings something different to the table. Expect Kyle Williams to start climbing the depth chart quickly as he gets up to speed, especially considering his versatility and how well he fits into Josh McDaniels' offensive vision. Williams, with his quarterback background, adds an intriguing layer to what this unit could become. One of the biggest positives coming out of day one was the full return of Christian Barmore, having him back in full participation at defensive tackle is a huge win for the Patriots. He's a difference maker up front, and his presence could take some of the pressure off the edge rushers and give the secondary more room to breathe. If Barmore can stay healthy, this defense becomes a problem fast. Now, let's shift gears to something that caught everyone off guard. The NFL's official green light for player participation in the 2028 Olympics, specifically for flag football. That's right, NFL players will be allowed to represent Team USA in a version of the sport that strips away the hits but keeps the speed, the agility, and the creativity. It's a fascinating twist, and one that has already sparked plenty of debate. On one hand, you can't help but get excited at the thought of a flag football dream team made up of NFL stars. Imagine Justin Jefferson running wild in space, or Tyreek Hill blazing past defenders who've never seen that kind of speed. Think about quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson making plays without having to worry about getting hit. It's a football fan's fantasy. But on the flip side, there's legitimate concern and a fair amount of disappointment from the amateur flag football community. For years, these athletes have trained, competed, and dreamt of representing their countries on the Olympic stage. And now, many of them are seeing those dreams evaporate in the shadow of NFL superstars stepping into the spotlight. That doesn't mean the quality of play will suffer. In fact, It might be better than anyone expects. But it does raise ethical questions. Should professional athletes dominate an event designed to highlight global talent and amateur competition? Or is the ultimate goal of Olympic sport to showcase the very best, no matter where they come from? In the quarterback conversation, it becomes even more interesting. A player like Kyler Murray, with his mobility and improvisational style, might actually be a better flag football quarterback than someone like Joe Burrow, who thrives in the pocket. The skill set needed for flag is different. Movement, agility, quick reads, and off-script creativity will be the difference makers. Whether or not Kyler Murray or Justin Jefferson ultimately takes the field in the Olympics remains to be seen. But the potential is undeniable, and the intrigue is real. It's a bold step by the NFL, and one that could change the way we think about international competition in the sport for years to come. Back to the Patriots and the draft decisions that still have fans scratching their heads. When New England had the 38th overall pick, they passed on wide receiver Luther Burden, a player who had for a long time been considered one of the top talents at the position. He slid in the draft, yes, but many thought he wouldn't fall that far. Instead, the Patriots used that pick on running back Tre'Veyon Henderson and circled back later in the third round to take Kyle Williams. Now the question is starting to surface again. Should they have flipped those picks? Should Burden have been the priority with a running back like Caleb Johnson or Cam Scatterbo coming later on? Because both Johnson and Scatterbo were still on the board when New England made their third-round selection. If you look strictly at value, there's a case to be made. Burden was a two-time All-SEC performer, a dynamic playmaker, and someone many saw as a first-round talent. On paper, he might have brought more immediate star power than Henderson, but the Patriots clearly saw things differently. Their approach seemed to be focused not just on talent, but on fit. Henderson isn't just a top-tier back. He's someone who brings blocking skills, third-down versatility, and system compatibility. Meanwhile, Kyle Williams adds a level of intelligence and adaptability you rarely see in a mid-round wideout. The organization clearly believes they got the right guys in the right order, even if it goes against popular opinion. And maybe that's what separates a good draft from a great one. Not just chasing big names, but identifying players who will thrive in your system, not someone else's. While the debate continues around what could have been in the draft, the Patriots are already full steam ahead preparing for what's next, and that includes 2 upcoming joint practices that could prove pivotal for this young team. Joint practices have become a crucial part of preseason evaluation across the league. And for New England, they provide a vital opportunity to test themselves against real competition without the stakes of a regular season game. This year, the Patriots are set to hold joint sessions with 2 very different but equally revealing opponents, the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. Let's start with the Vikings. Not only will this bring the Patriots on the road to Minnesota, but it also opens the door to one of the most exciting practice matchups of the summer. Christian Gonzalez lining up across from Justin Jefferson. That's a dream scenario for Patriots fans eager to see how Gonzalez stacks up in year 2 after a promising rookie season. Jefferson is the gold standard at wide receiver, and if Gonzalez can hold his own in those joint practices, it'll speak volumes about his trajectory as a true shutdown corner. These practices will also give the Patriots offense a look at a Vikings defense that's been retooled and should present a fair challenge. For Drake May, it's another test, another step in a learning process that will be full of both difficult lessons and defining breakthroughs. And then there's the Commanders, and this matchup carries a different kind of weight, not just as competition, but as a mirror. Washington is a team that found itself in a similar situation just a year ago. A struggling franchise bringing in a new head coach, building around a young quarterback and trying to shift the culture. Dan Quinn took over and helped engineer a turnaround by focusing on defense, accountability, and putting his young signal caller Jaden Daniels in a position to succeed. Sound familiar? It should. There's a clear parallel between what Washington did in 2024 and what New England is trying to do now in 2025. Mike Vrabel is stepping into his own version of that opportunity. A so-called retread head coach coming back into the spotlight after sharpening his resume elsewhere. He's not just inheriting a team, he's building a new identity from scratch. The Patriots brass is banking on Vrabel's experience, leadership, and deep understanding of the Patriots culture to pull this team out of the basement and back into the postseason conversation. Matching up against a team like Washington gives this new-look Patriots roster a chance to benchmark itself against a group that just recently climbed out of the very same hole. But it's not just about quarterback comparisons or coaching arcs. These joint practices are about execution, about seeing which players rise in the face of unfamiliar schemes and unexpected pressure. It's about offensive linemen holding their own in one-on-ones against different rushers. It's about receivers adjusting to press coverage they haven't seen before. It's about the secondary handling play action they didn't prep for in the film room. These are the moments where rosters start to take shape. Fringe players get chances, starters get challenged, coaches get clarity. There's also a psychological benefit. Joint practices bring energy, they bring tension, they simulate real competition in ways that padded practices just can't. It's one thing to go up against your teammates in drills. It's another thing entirely to line up against someone who wants your job, who plays for another city, who's not going to go easy on you just because it's August. And for a team like the Patriots, who are trying to build chemistry with new faces all over the field, that kind of intensity can fast-track the process. Looking ahead, there's a sense that this is more than just a rebuilding year. The AFC East is always competitive, but with a roster refresh and what looks like a renewed sense of purpose, the Patriots might be positioned to surprise people. No one's expecting them to walk away with a division. Not with the Bills still dangerous, the Jets adding talent around Aaron Rodgers, and the Dolphins built for speed. But what the Patriots can do is force their way into the playoff conversation. And if Drake May settles in, the defense continues to evolve, and guys like Tre'Veyon Henderson and Kyle Williams find their rhythm, this team could be peaking by mid-season. The important thing is not to rush the process. Development isn't linear, and progress rarely shows up in a straight line. There will be frustrating days. There will be headlines that question decisions. There will be critics and skeptics and social media hot takes. But that's all noise. What matters is what happens on the field. In the details, in the daily grind, in the trust built between players and coaches. That's how culture is rebuilt. That's how teams go from rebuilding to winning. One more note as we wrap up. While there's still a lot to sort out in terms of roster spots, injuries, and schematic shifts, the energy around Foxborough feels different this year. It's not just hopeful, it's focused. Mike Vrabel and his staff have made it clear that this isn't a throwaway year. This is a foundation year. And if the buy-in from veterans and rookies alike is any indication, the groundwork is already being laid. So whether you're tuning in to see the development of a potential franchise quarterback, the rebirth of a once proud defense, or just curious about how this new era of Patriots football is going to take shape, keep watching. There's going to be a lot to talk about. And if the early signs are any clue, New England might not be rebuilding for long. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us. Keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The New England Patriots appear poised to shake up the NFL with a game-changing addition to their backfield. Rumors are swirling that Derrick Henry, one of the league's most dominant running backs in recent memory, is set to join the Patriots for the upcoming season. While the deal has yet to be officially confirmed, multiple sources close to the situation suggest that negotiations are in the final stages and that Henry could be donning the red, white, and blue sooner than expected. If the rumor proves true, this acquisition could completely transform the Patriots' offensive identity. Known for his bruising power, breakaway speed, and relentless running style, Derrick Henry brings a level of physicality that New England hasn't seen since the days of Corey Dillon. Over the past several seasons with the Tennessee Titans, Henry consistently ranked among the league's top rushers, including a historic 2,000-yard campaign in 2020. Despite some concerns about age and wear, the 30-year-old still commands the K-head respect of every defensive coordinator in the league. The Patriots, who have struggled to find a consistent offensive rhythm since the departure of Tom Brady, may finally have the explosive weapon they need to reassert themselves in the AFC East. Their ground game, which has lacked a true bell cow back capable of dominating on all three downs, could become one of the league's most feared units overnight. Pairing Henry with an improving offensive line and a new offensive coordinator looking to emphasize physical football could spell serious trouble for opposing defenses. The potential arrival of Derrick Henry also signals a strategic shift by the Patriots, our front office, an aggressive move aimed at quickly rebuilding a team that has underperformed in recent seasons. Head coach Bill Belichick has always valued tough, smart football, and Henry fits that mold perfectly. His leadership and playoff experience will be invaluable to a young roster eager to return to contention. While fans await official confirmation, the excitement is already palpable. If this blockbuster move goes through, New England's offense won't just improve, it might explode. Derrick Henry in a Patriots jersey, it's a nightmare for defenses and a dream come true for Foxborough. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.